What's up, guys? Here at Keep Forging, we continue to forge on as men in our stagnant health habits and in our fractured relationships, and we start to win again in those areas. My name is Eric Tilley, and I'm a certified nutrition coach and personal trainer, and a fanatic about helping men be the men that they desire to be. Today, we're going to be talking 3 things to never eat for rapid fat loss, and 3 things to always eat during rapid fat loss. Okay, and before we get started, please remember to hit that subscribe button down there below. That way we can get new content out to you. It'll be notified when new content comes out to you guys. But plus, it costs nothing to subscribe, but the payoff could be priceless to the other men in your life and yourself who need our message and who would benefit from our show. And these are some of the things that I did 8 years ago when I started my weight loss journey, and I had gotten to this place. This was my day one when I had made a decision. I decided this was the last time I was going to look like this, and so this was what happened my first 30 days. My first 30 days, I had some pretty rapid weight loss, and it was in a healthy way. Now, you notice I said rapid fat loss, not rapid weight loss, is what we're talking about today. Because you can do some unhealthy things and eat too low of calories and just do some things that aren't really good for you. And it can also be damaging, losing too much weight too fast. But there are some great things that you can do to lose fat very, very quickly. And this was my first year. So my very first year, it shows I actually lost 22 pounds in my first month, and I was not working out during that month. Now, the energy that I had after that first 30 days, I couldn't wait to get my butt back into a gym or running or doing something because my energy was back. I felt good again. I was putting in the good nutrients. I was eating right. And that's the 80%, guys. You don't feel like you've got to go. You can't outrun a bad diet. You can't outwork a bad diet. So if those days are they're gone. If you think that you can just eat whatever you want and then just go work it out, you just can't. Especially for us guys over 45. And I'm 51 now, and I'm literally in the best shape of my life ever since I made that decision. And so it was following a lot of these things that we're going to talk about today. And things change. You go from maintenance, but it's a rapid fat loss time when we got to get that off as quick as possible, then there's just some things that you got to never do. And there's some things that you've always got to do. Now, as you start to get into your maintenance, some of those can change. You don't have to be as strict. I still love to stick to that 80-20 rule. So as long as you're doing these things 80% of the time, then the 20% that comes in where we miss it or whatever, it's not going to do much damage. But most of us have that flipped. And maybe we're eating decently 20% of the time, but the other 80, we're just flat out missing it. And it's tough out there because we're dealing with the stuff that tastes good, and we think, and it's confusing. There's so many diets and things out there, this and new that, and things that work for others, and there are things that work for others, but it basically comes back down to good nutrients, lower calories, but dense calories, and staying away from certain things. And so you just see as it started to progress, and I just kept going, and it kept getting better and better. And oh, that was my family from a long time ago. Anyway, this back to my whole entire year. So after 1 year, and the time's going to pass anyway, right? After that first year, when I saw what I was capable of doing through nutrition, and then of course I was working out too, and I was enjoying it. But if you're not eating right, if you're not fueling your body, you're not going to want to work out. Your workouts are going to be crap. You're going to get injured. It's just not you. And then you just kind of quit, and then you quit the whole thing. I mean, how many times have we yo-yoed? I mean, that's what I did up to that point. It was a yo-yo. It was a 6-year yo-yo of being really good for 3 months, and then I would slip for 6 months, and then come on, let's do this. And it was sheer willpower. And eventually it was just, I surrender. I give up. I am done trying to do this my way. I need help. What do I do? And so a friend introduced me to this way of eating, which it's all a lot of common sense, but these were 3 things that I never did during my rapid fat loss period. Okay. And I stayed away from highly processed foods. High processed foods. All right, so that includes like added sugars, unhealthy fats, empty calories. So things like sugary snacks, okay? Fast food, fast food, zero sugary snacks, zero sugary drinks, and most packaged foods. Now, sugary drinks, that's one of those. I say never drink your calories. Drink your water. You got to drink your water. Okay. So that's number one. High processed foods, that's a never. Another never is excess sugars. So sugar is not evil. Sugar is not bad. Too much sugar is bad. But your brain, your liver, you need a certain amount of sugars per day for certain organs to function properly. So sugar is very good for you. Too much sugar is very bad for you. And the problem is there is a very fine line in that. So avoid anything that has excess sugars, added sugars, things like cereals, so sugary cereals, soda, any kind of sugary drinks, even juices, apple juice. There's a lot of added sugars and things where orange juices that like we think we're doing good and we're not. Candy and prepackaged desserts, cookies and candies and pastries, you just can't do it. So number one, high processed foods. Number two, excess sugars. And number three, trans fats. So it's found in most fried foods. So stay away from just fried food, period. Just period. You don't have to question it. Zero. And it's most in like commercially baked goods as well. So any kind of pastries and cakes and cookies and things like that is where you're going to find those trans fats. And the key words here you want to look for, so you've got to do some looking at the ingredients in the back. It's partially hydrogenated oils. If you see that in the ingredients, that's a never. That's a never while you are in rapid fat loss mode. Okay. So just to recap, the three things to never have when you want a rapid fat loss: high processed foods, excess sugars, and trans fats. The three things to always have during rapid fat loss mode, besides water. So water should just be a given. Here's a side note for you. As a rule, for the rest of your life, drink at least half of your body weight in ounces per day. That's a minimum. So easy math. If you're 200 pounds, make sure you're getting at least 100 ounces of water a day. I drink a gallon of water a day. I weigh anywhere from 165 to 175, depending on what time of year it is and what's going on. But I drink a gallon of water a day. There's 128 ounces of water in a gallon. And that is my staple. I have it in a big gallon jug, and I make sure that thing is full and empty by the end of the day. So get that water in. That goes without saying. So whole foods, number one. Make sure it's whole foods, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, legumes, those type things that are whole, things that God created, not things that man created. Okay. So number one, whole foods. Number two, lean proteins. Always be eating lean proteins. You should be building every one of your meals and every one of your snacks that you're eating around a protein. So get your protein, figure out what that's going to be for every meal, figure out what that's going to be for every snack, and then build around that protein. So make sure, number two, you're getting your lean proteins, okay? And if you, for a more plant-based protein, beans and legumes, but just your traditional, skinless chicken, lean beef, lean pork, those type things. Even there are some good meal replacement protein shakes out there too. Not just protein. Make sure you look at meal replacement protein shakes and check the ingredients. Make sure they don't have a lot of that hidden processed stuff in there. No hydrogenated oils. Okay. So always, number one, whole foods. Number two, lean proteins. And number three, fiber rich foods. So make sure your foods that you're eating are rich in fiber. There are three things, and the reason for this is to make you feel full and satiated. So there are three things that make us full and feel satiated. And that number one is water. Number two is protein. And number three is fiber. Okay. You don't get full from sugar and carbohydrates. You can't. And that's why you could drink 1,000 calories of soda very easily. I mean, you go right through 1,000, 2,000 calories. You could drink sodas all day long and go through 2,000. I mean, very quickly. Try to eat 1,000 calories of chicken. Try to eat 1,000 calories worth of pork or lean ground beef, or you can't, because that makes you so full. already. So that's why we can just continue to eat those candies and sugars, and we always want more and more and more, because if you get full from that, man, you have blown your calorie count way out of the water. So make sure you're getting fiber rich foods to make you feel full, to help you with those cravings, because the better your cravings, if those are just going through the roof, and all the temptations are there, it's just hard. It's hard with all the temptations. So make yourself as full as possible, down that water, make sure you're getting your protein and fiber rich foods like whole grains, like oats, quinoa, brown rice, fruits and vegetables, legumes, those type things that are very fiber rich. So 3 things to always do and always consume in rapid fat loss is whole foods, lean proteins, and fiber rich foods. All right. I hope that helps you guys today. Let me know if you're on that rapid fat loss. We want that stuff gone as quick as possible. And so I hope that does help you. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions at all. And please reach out. Let me know how your health journey is going. I would love some one-on-one time with you. All right. Remember, there is not one silver bullet in our health that's going to fix it all, but there are many golden BBs, and the gold is more valuable than the silver, and you are more valuable than both in the eyes of God. God bless, and keep forging.